We will be continuing.
You're listening to the BBC World Service. This is BBC News with coverage to mark the death of Her Majesty the Queen with Razia Iqbal and James Kumarasamy.
A short while ago, Buckingham Palace announced that Queen Elizabeth II, Britain's longest reigning monarch, died peacefully at her Scottish home of Balmoral. She was 96. Charles, the Queen's eldest son, said that the death of his beloved mother was a moment of the greatest sadness for him and all members of the royal family. He becomes King Charles III. Members of the public have been gathering in Scotland and outside Buckingham Palace.
We will be with you for the next 3 hours with coverage looking back at Queen Elizabeth's long life, her reign, the end of the Second Elizabethan era, the impact she made on both the United Kingdom but also on the Commonwealth of Nations. And we will bring you reaction to her death. World leaders past and present have been sharing their reflections. First, the news. Hello, this is Julie Candler with the BBC News. Buckingham Palace has announced the death of Queen Elizabeth. She was 96 years old. In a statement, the palace said she had died peacefully at Balmoral Castle in Scotland, where she had spent the summer. Her 4 children were in attendance. Elizabeth ascended the throne in 1952. She became Britain's longest reigning monarch, surpassing Queen Victoria 7 years ago. With her death, her eldest son Charles, the former Prince of Wales, becomes the new king. Large crowds are gathering in central London, as our correspondent Mark Easton reports.
Here at Buckingham Palace, you can see the way the public is already reacting. Thousands, perhaps tens of thousands of people have already turned up. Applause breaking out. Just behind me now, people are pouring down the Mall, coming to pay their respects. This is a crowd of every generation and every background. There are a lot of young people, a lot of people from ethnic minorities. It's a very mixed crowd, and she was a queen that was able to be a figurehead for people from whatever background in Britain.
Charles, the new king, said the death of his beloved mother was a moment of the greatest sadness for him and all the members of the royal family. He said they mourned profoundly the passing of a cherished sovereign whose loss would be deeply felt throughout the country, the Commonwealth, and by countless people around the world. On Friday, Charles will be officially named king by a gathering of the Accession Council at St James's Palace in London. It's been confirmed he will be known as King Charles III, and in the coming days he will be publicly proclaimed as the new monarch. Britain's new Prime Minister, Liz Truss, said everyone was devastated by the news. She described the Queen as the spirit of the country and the rock upon which modern Britain was built. Liz Truss spoke within the past hour outside her official residence in Downing Street.
Through thick and thin, Queen Elizabeth II provided us with the stability and the strength that we needed. She was the very spirit of Great Britain, and that spirit will endure. She has been our longest ever reigning monarch. It's an extraordinary achievement to have presided with such dignity and grace for 70 years. Her life of service stretched beyond most of our living memories. In return, she was loved and admired by the people in the United Kingdom and all around the world.
Ms Truss was formally appointed by the Queen only 2 days ago, becoming the 15th Prime Minister of the monarch's long reign. Pictures were released of the Queen smiling broadly as they greeted each other. This is the latest world news from the BBC. The Archbishop of Canterbury, Justin Welby, said the country had lost the person whose steadfast loyalty, service and humility helps the British make sense of who they were through decades of extraordinary change.